So we were fortunate enough to have Marley come all the way 6 hours away from Illinois to Ohio. It's almost a 7-hour drive, and it's nice to have the new generation of lifters come in, and you see so much less these days with this generation of respect, responsibility, and coaching. The ability to be able to coach, I think now is the most difficult thing as a parent or a coach in general. Kids just don't know how to take, I wouldn't say authority, but just advice.
Well, we got into powerlifting. I got into powerlifting about July. And I always just tagged him because I saw him as a big mentor in my life with powerlifting. And a few tags later, he responded, and it meant the world to me. And it just kind of led me to here, and he just keeps pushing me. So it's been nice getting a hold of him.
Actually, we were watching Westside versus the World, and I was telling her, I was watching, and I said, Marley, there's Matt Wenning. I said, we see him on Instagram. So we was watching some of his videos, and I said, Marley, I said, just tag him. I said, you never know, that dude might get a hold of you one of these days.
And when she came in, it was a really good breath, fresh of air, because it felt like what I felt like the attention that Louie and Ed Cohen and the guys back home in Indiana gave me as a kid. And obviously, as a female, she has more gifts than me sooner, which is amazing because I benched 250 my first bench press meet in 7th grade. So she has the potential to get really far. What I feel like we've done for you, and you can answer this, is fixing those little fine-tuned things and learning. I think the biggest thing to learn that you learned in the last 2 days was work smarter, not harder.
Absolutely.
Right? It's all about technique. And once the technique base is set foundationally, where it can't be broken is when you can start ramping the intensity. And that's the one thing that the coaches taught me when I was a kid. They never let me truly max. So when I benched 250 in a contest, I probably had 275, 280 that day, but I wasn't allowed to do it. And then I wasn't allowed to bench 330 when I did 315. So from watching Marley, I've been watching her training and giving her little feedback tips here and there. And when she came, she was doing a lot of as many reps as possible, grinding things to the fucking ground. It's a lot of things that you don't want to do as a developing younger athlete, because we had these little minute technical issues that we needed to correct. And every rep that you do that has an incorrect form position is what your body thinks it's going to do when it goes super heavy. There's another thing that we saw today with Marley. She came in when we were doing speed bench instead of max benching, and she liked to roll her wrists really far back. We call it throttling. And a lot of that was because she wasn't keeping her lats tight. So once we fixed that, the bar path became a lot straighter, and over time, when she gets comfortable, her bench is gonna go way up. So she's already doing close to 200 or over raw now with some pretty big technical issues, and once we fix that, I think she'll be in the 250 range in not too long. And you'll be 14 in what, 2 months?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so with those things being said, what were the top cues that you felt, let's go to lower body day, what are the top cues that you felt were the most important to fixing, let's say, the squat? What we saw with the squat?
My top cue was probably me pushing my legs out as I was going, because it helped me engage my glutes. So it helped me keep my calves more straight and help me have a better posture so I can stay up and not lean in, because my left knee is a lot weaker than my right, so it helped me keep that out.
Right.
And not get hurt.
Yeah, so what we noticed is her left knee would buck in harder than her right knee, which is putting her in a crooked position. Symmetrical movement is insanely important in bilateral strength training because the pressure has to stay even. I want somebody to, like her and you guys listening, to understand you're only as strong as your weakest side. And so she played softball for a lot of years, and she has dominant sides and weak sides that we have to correct before she gets any stronger, or some of these motor patterns are going to be permanent. And that's why, guys, don't wait until you're 18 or 20 and you're already pretty good, really good, until you start looking for form cues, because that form has already been ingrained. And now it's like murder to break it, right? Because it's already a habit. So it's a good thing she's only been lifting for a little less than a year. So we don't have too many form things that we can't fix, but she's special in the fact that she can take coaching cues and literally fix most of the problems within a set or two. So that's being highly athletic. So as you were saying, you did a lot of sports before you went into lifting. And that's the other thing you guys are missing. If you want to be a power lifter, you need to be an athlete first, then go into powerlifting. So my goal for Marley is, I'm concerned that she gets good records in her teenage years because she has such a gift, but I want her to make sure that she's looking long term, because what we have to do is get her to last until 26, 28, 30 to truly see the numbers that she's capable of, because she has the best build I've ever seen for a female in person to lift big weights. Now the upper body day, where we saw the wrist turn and we saw the head move a little bit and a lot of rotation in the bench press. So I think once we get that straight and good, that'll be another thing. But one thing I forgot about is coming back to the deadlift. you would initially pull with your head down, which was making the bar go away. And then when you got to the top, it had a hard time getting your hips through, right?
Yes,
so what happened when you looked up?
I looked up and it helped me lock out. It got past my knees way quicker than
Did it feel like it hurt your neck or any part of your back?
Not at all.
Okay, so I want you guys to understand something. Real lifters understand the importance of picking your head up. So we fixed her technique and her deadlift looked, Dad, 20% better? 20% better in literally 10 seconds by changing head position. Okay, so listen to me, guys. I know that there's a lot of chiropractors and doctors and things like that telling you that it's gonna hurt you to lift your head up. If that was true, I would be a vegetable. Okay, so I'm not going to tell her to do anything that would hurt her. What I'm going to do is, you're better off driving the head up, keeping the sternum high, so then that way the bar stays against your leg instead of your head down and popping away. So a high head equals a high sternum, and if you look at it on a deadlift, the hinging point comes closer to the body and it actually protects your back. But you're only going to know that if you've deadlifted elite weights. So we've been able to fix that now, and so I'm excited to see what your numbers are going to be. So hop on wenningstrength.com, check it out. She's been following a lot of the stuff that we're doing, and make sure you follow her as well and look at some of the stuff she's cranking out, because like I said, I've never seen another 13-year-old biker and I've been around for 30 years. Talk to you guys later.